Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to all our respected trainees, our Vice Chancellor of IIU, Professor Charles, and our today's the great resource person, Dr. Ravi Kumar KS. Welcome for the third day of the Career Counseling Program, a very comprehensive and very well designed program by the International Internship University. Now, you all have already heard about the university. IIU is the first virtual university providing the quality education to the learners across the world. I, Dr. Snigdha Kadam, the Chief Operating Officer of the International Internship University, take the privilege to introduce our today's trainer, Dr. Ravi Kumar sir. But before that, my heartfelt gratitude to the entire IIU team and yes, to our visionary founder, Mr. Piyush Pandit sir, for giving us this opportunity to have these sessions. Thank you all. Now, Dr. Ravi Kumar KS. I can, sir's profile is very big, but I can just summarize it. I will certainly read that. The multi-talented and multitasking personality and who is always there for us whenever we need him. I still remember our last year sessions of NEP. I think all 30 days Dr. Ravi Kumar sir was with us. Whenever we need any kind of help for the training session, sir is always there for us. So I think Ravi sir, you are one amongst our pillars for the IIU. My heartfelt gratitude to you. About Ravi sir, he is an army veteran carrying nearly 4.5 decades of experience behind him. He has served in the Indian Army as a telecom and radio engineer for 3 decades, and post which he has dedicated his service with utmost devotion in upskilling the rural and semi-urban folks in English language, communication and interpersonal skills, followed by employability skills, MS Office, and career counseling. He is also an expertise in BFSI, retail, FMCG, automobile, mind mapping, SWOT, automobile, and many more other domains. He has trained more than 80,000 plus students and nearly 10,000 plus employees across India. That includes government, PSUs, private organizations, corporate, and many other sectors. Of late, he has counseled nearly 50 plus students for choosing and developing their career in the respective area of interest and their existing skill set expertise from various educational institutions like Sri Chaitanya Techno School, Narayana Techno School, Oxford University Bangalore, Jai Prakash Narayan Educational Trust, or Loyola University, excuse, New Horizon Group of institutions. His delivery of training has brought him great applause, especially in English language, career counseling, employability skill trainings, wherein more than 73% of success is achieved. And yes, I completely agree with this because Sir's training sessions are not only full of the slides, but we get so much of the learning experience out of that. And I think you all will agree with me after today's session. Sir have received n number of certifications from n number of national and international organizations. He have received many awards and rewards on the national as well as international level. So without wasting any time, I know after listening to his profile, you all must be very much eager to hear his expertise, right? So, dear Ravi sir, now the platform is all yours, and we are very much eager and excited to hear all your expertise. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Snigdha ma'am, for such a wonderful introduction and also praising me a lot in front of such a huge crowd, which itself is making me to shy off from the session because I feel I'm being really exaggerated. Start the session. I welcome our backbone, the strong or the center pillar, or even the load-bearing wall of International Internship University of the Indian version, Dr. Snigdha Kadam, one who is not only the backbone, she is also the vertebral column of the Indian version. And I should especially thank her and extend my gratitude the opportunities for all the training sessions that has been conducted by the International Internship University for the last almost a year plus, I believe. All the training sessions, like whether it's a train the trainer, mentoring program, or the career counseling program, or delivering webinars during the months supporting me. Without her support, I would have been here in this position with all of you also. Then it is my privilege and prestige to welcome and also to thank our founder, Mr. Piyush Pandit sir, one who is the founder of this and one who has but is such a huge vision towards the world education. And he is started the base for the WEP, that is the World Education Policy, which really Snigdha ma'am missed out to say all the 3 days. So this is another this thing, a major step taken forward by our founder, Mr. Piyush Pandit sir. And also, I would love to welcome all the IINs present over here, especially our Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Charles sir, one who is the inspiration for all of us. Keeps on praising me wherever we meet and wherever he sees me also. And he is another person for me to get inspired by the way he motivates the other people. And I welcome all the participants over here. And you are watching, we're going through the entire session for the last 2 days, where yesterday it was by Dr. Srividya ma'am and the day before Dr. Binu ma'am, where you had gone through the intermediate or the interim part of the career counseling and the end part of the career counseling, what would have been there. In fact, this batch, due to certain constraints of the technical issues and other things, administrative things, we had to shuffle the sessions. However, all the things are the same. It is a well repeated session for all the 3 days, because whatever has been covered on the third and second, certain things will be reiterated here. So not to get bored of that, but however, there will be a different version of reiterating it. That much I can assure you. And going forward, as all of us know and all of us would have learned that why this career counseling is, or what exactly the term career counseling means, right? A simple, I think yesterday also you would have heard about this. Simple definition for career counseling. It is just a process that will help you to know and understand yourself as well as your trainees or the students to whom you would be counseling. Or in the short words, I can say to understand the counselee and also yourself. The basic thing that we do is SWOT, that I will take it when I share the slides, right? It can be, counseling can be in any way. Of course, career doesn't mean that it should be only in the professional pathway, right? In all the 3 lifestyles, we can counsel the people. That's where a person, an individual leads the life. The 3 lifestyles as all of us know very well, the first and foremost one is the personal life. Then after a couple of years, our professional life starts. The moment when we enter into our pre-nursery or kindergarten sessions, going to education, the student life. Going forward, then we will get into our work life, which is our actual profession, in which stream or in which vertical or in which domain we are graduated or undergraduated or postgraduated, work in that line, that work life. The third, which balances these two lifestyles, is the personal lifestyle as well as our professional lifestyle, is the social life, without which we cannot balance this personal life and the professional life. So counseling an individual, whether it's a student, an employee of any organization, or any individual, help them to cater in a better way to lead their career. That means career refers to their life. It doesn't mean that it is very much restricted only to the students of any colleges. Career is a life that one leads throughout, from the day one to day end. So that way, if we take that career counseling as an objective of us, all of us can help get onto the right path and lead a beautiful life. By saying this, so of course, we may need to conduct certain assessments in between. It can be an online assessment or it can be an offline assessment. It can be a oral assessment. To do all these things, we are trained well. We should get educated well. We should get time to time, and we should stand at the current trend. That's what is the most important thing for any counselors, for counseling any of the individuals. With these sayings, I would seek the permission to share the screen and take the session forward. So in this chapter or in this particular day, what we would be talking about or what we would be learning or what we would be discussing or what we can interact, in fact, is all about understanding what is a career first. As I've already defined you what exactly the career is, and also what is that development that is needed, is what is known as the career development. Then frequently asked questions whenever we counsel any counselees for their career and how to take them forward. Then what are all the career options that are available in today's trend, and what are the basic educational requirements that are needed for an individual to upgrade himself career or her career. Then what are all the professional careers that are available in today across the globe, and few of the other options. We will be touching these 5 interesting subtopics today, and I hope these things wouldn't bore you much and it will take you through the right way of understanding what exactly the career counseling means. Understand what exactly is a career. A career means it is an individual's or a person's growth throughout his life. That was what I told you in the very beginning, before I started this particular thing of showing the slides and explaining you the things. Career, the personal growth. Personal growth refers to all the three styles of life. That's what I told you. The profession, the path, and the plan that one adopts to grow in his or her life for their future. How they can design their future, how they can dream for their future. So when they dream, when they start dreaming, when they get an urge of desire in their mind that I want to become XYZ or I want to be so and so. When they start making a blueprint for their future, that is what is the career. And the development, that is what is career development. It is just an ongoing process. It will never stop. It doesn't have any destination. For any individual, for any development, whether it is a career development, whether it is a personality development, or your financial development, whatever it is, any development is just like achieving a goal. Because goal or the success or any development doesn't have a the failures has the destination. Failure or the mistake that is committed first time is a mistake. And an individual one who learns from that mistake gets himself or herself corrected with that mistake, that ends there. The mistake ends there. That's why it has a destination. And of course, as all of us know and all of us keep on saying, mistake is the first stair of the success. So the success, the goal or the development has no destination. You can reach to any level, still it will have a higher level on that. So that consistent process, that consistent ongoing process of gaining knowledge or skills, improving one's behavior, cutting down the one's attitude, a good or a positive or an assertive attitude in oneself, which helps an individual and grow and lead a successful life and lifestyle day after day after day after day after day. This is saying, yesterday is the past, tomorrow is the future, today is what? Present. Forget yesterday, do whatever you need to do today. Whatever you plan for tomorrow, plan it, do it today. So that you never know tomorrow comes or not, but today always comes. Yesterday is already lost. It won't come back at all. Tomorrow nobody has seen. We don't know tomorrow will come or not. But if tomorrow comes, tomorrow will be today. For today, our growth is pakka or it is assured. And what is today's trend in the career development? Why it is so? So let us see why this defect or why this conflict in this development is that the first and foremost one is the last focus. The last focus is what we seem trying to say is that as all of us as a parent, just get back to our children's younger days when they were in the schools. That is, in the elementary school level or in the middle school level, becoming an artist, becoming a painter, very good player, whatsoever it is, a singer, a dancer, we always encourage that child. Oh, my child at the age of 7 is doing amazingly well. He is a beautiful art. He has drawn such a beautiful pencil art. That thing, this thing, we always encourage the child. But as the days passed on, the child was interested in developing his or her career in that way, in that path. But we as parents encourage after certain, once the child gets onto the middle education level, middle school level, or the higher secondary level of education. In the secondary level of education, for certain days, we really did encourage the child. As the child moved from the secondary level of education to the higher secondary level of education, there we lost the focus. We made our child to lose his or her was interested in. And then we started telling this child, no, now you are into higher education, you are into higher secondary classes. Now you are having your life's turning point. You should focus on your studies. Forget whatever you are there. You might be an artist, you might be a singer, you might be a dancer. That won't earn you the life. This is where we also lost the focus on our child's career, and we also made our child to lose the focus. This is what the last focus is. Then the second thing is the diversified or the minimal influence by parents, teachers, friends, peers, which leads to dropouts. A child, as a student, is quite interested or is quite good or quite strong or quite efficient in drawing or painting or playing games or in singing. But we as a parent, we as friends, we as the peers of the child, we as the external relatives, we always started saying this, my dear child, you will not have a good life with these things. You better focus on your studies. That made the child to lose interest in both the ways. That is where neither the child could focus on the art or the talent, lost the focus there, and also cannot focus on the academics because of the external pressure or the external diversification. What do you call it? So external words that we use for the child, external saying that we tell, this makes the child to diverse its focus from his academics also. And once the child fails in from there it starts to drop out. The child loses all the interest. For those type of children, how we can counsel? How can we build their career? How can we rebuild their career? How can we make them to rebuild their career and come up in their life? This is what is actually the career counseling is. These are all the most affecting trends. And the third thing is in education, from higher secondary level to the professional level, getting into the college after 12th, getting into graduation, undergraduation, and getting graduation, and then to the post-graduation level. Then the focus towards the education is reduced, but the focus towards the facilities, the infrastructures that are institution or in the particular university are focused. Oh, I put my son in that so-and-so university. If I had to put that my son into that university, is there an AC facility in the hostel? Is there a good canteen in the hostel? Other than the hostel facilities, what are the facilities that are there in the college also, in the university campus? Is there a good playground? Can my son have some cultural activities? Then we lose the main objective, the focus towards the main objective of getting our child educated or graduated into the particular stream of education of academics is reduced, and we lose the focus, and then we start focusing towards other things like food, canteen, swimming pool, sports ground, that thing, this thing and all, AC, all comfort zones. We're comfortable in staying in the hostel or staying in the university. That's where the focus goes. We have to come out of that. Then the competition. The competition in the global level. For every growth in the career, there is always a competition. There is a healthy competition also. There are competitions also. We have to come or overcome that competitions. We have to look forward. We should know what are the level of competitions that are there. If I had to evolve, if I had to pull my counseling from the current level to the next level. As a career counselor, we should understand, we should have the knowledge of what are all the areas where this competition can happen. If this competition is happening, I need to indulge into my counseling so that my counseling gets right direction, right path, and gets success in his career or her career. Then the most important thing that is affecting the today's trend is aimless process. Again, here, using of acronyms is one of my this thing. AIM here is an acronym. So what does the AIM refers to? A, I, and M. This is where the focus is lost again. A stands for attitude. As the child goes from one level to the next level to the higher level, the counseling or the person changes. Because it can be due to external mixing up with the other friends and peers, can be due to that getting himself or herself into a higher classes with a higher grade of marks, the attitude changes. Gradually, which should not come out of the child, that is called as the ego. So once the ego comes, the attitude automatically changes. That's why there is a saying, if ego comes, everything goes. If ego goes, everything comes. Then the involvement. In today's trend, the child has lost the involvement. Though the might be due to the external force by the parents or by the relatives or by the teachers or by the peers or by friends, those who have guided the child to go for this or go for that and whatsoever it is that, the child is losing the involvement in that particular stream or in that particular line. So the career counselor should understand why the child is losing the involvement. and try to bring back the child, make the child to get involved in whatever the current stream that child is pursuing, so that the career counselor, the counselor is held responsible for making the child to understand what all the opportunities that can be available in the career that he or she has chosen, and not to get diverted or not to external words, color, or the external friends' sayings, which can lead them to lose their good path in the career and focus and involve themselves in whatever their current stream of education or current stream of profession that one has chosen. That is more important. Then mindfulness. The mindfulness is not that thing, no, I'll do it. It is quite easy. My friends will help. My teacher has told that this question will not come. This is not in your syllabus. All these things, the child loses the mindfulness, whatever is there. This things is being reduced or getting affected in the child's mind. So, as a career counselor, on all these aspects, and guide the child in the right direction to catch the right flight and reach the destination safely. Then, what do you want to do with the rest of your life? Once your education is done, you whatever, you are an undergraduate, you are a graduate, you are a postgraduate, you are just a dropout, whatsoever, and what are your skills? Yesterday and day before yesterday, you would have learned or you would have heard from the respective trainers, those who led the sessions yesterday and day before, that what are the different skill sets that are required for different sets of profession and how one can help it. What are the universities that could help a child to develop his or her career? So what do you want to become in your life? The trend, you want to become an artist, you want to become a player, national, international level player, you want to become in the education line, or you want to become a scientist, you want to become a medical, go to in the medical line, or you want to become an architect. What do you want to become? What is there in your mind? That is what is more important to understand from the counseling for the counselor. Once this thing is understood, to guide the counseling in the right paths. So what are the different career choices? Whenever one counseling or as a counselor, we are counseling a child or we are guiding the child to choose his or her career. The first and foremost thing one needs to do is, this is what is the one need to do in the very beginning, but not in the very first meeting. But not in the very first meeting. I'm reiterating this. The first meeting is purely a meeting where each of you get introduced to oneself and each of you get to understand one another. It is totally a personal meeting. It should be totally a personal meeting. Nothing should be about the education, nothing should be talked about the academics, nothing. The first meeting is totally a personal meeting where the counselor tries to understand the mindset of the child and make the child to open up the mind and make the child to speak freely. For that, the first meeting should be a pure counseling. It should be purely face to face. No teachers involved, no parents involved, no one other than the counselor and the counselee in a private place, so that the child will open up and come out whatever he or she is interested or whatever he or she wants to reveal, that would be revealed. And also the counselor telling himself or opening up, even the counselor should also open up, should build such a good relationship with the counseling that what all a counselor can help the child to develop his career, and how he can or she can help the child by revealing his personal experiences, personal achievements, personal successes, personal milestones. Setting them as your personal thing, the personal thing should be made it as an example, as if it is being told about someone else or something else. Making the child to get motivated, making the child to get inspired is all about the first meeting. Then the successive meetings, whenever we continue with the successive meetings as a career counselor, then these carried out. That is, what are the career choices the child wants to choose that career in his or her life. What is the first assessment that a counselor is going to do? First, try to understand the interest of the child. Interest here refers to the actually wants to become, or what is the child thinking about, and whatever the child has thought. Also ask the question, what are the merits and demerits that you have understood about this particular interest that you are showing towards? Collect those informations. Then ask the child to understand what is his, not the short term or this thing, what they actually want to achieve in their career. What is their set goal? According to them, that could be the destination. Just try to understand their destination, where they want to reach. That is, what is their goal? Once these two is done, what is the financial benefit you expect? Or what is the salary range you expect when you get into a job? Understand these aspects, make a note of all these things, not to intervene in between at all, not to give any directions after knowing these factors. All these factors need to be, no reciprocation is needed at this stage. Just jot down all these details. What are the interests? What is the set goal of the individual? And what is their expected salary? And then the education. What is that level of education that child needs to pursue, or what is the level of education the child has pursued already to go in the education, or where he has reached in the education. Know those things. This is just a 6-step analysis, just a 6-step assessment we need to carry to understand the counseling. After that, then what is that preparation that one needs to do? What are all the preparations the individual has already done for preparing that, getting prepared for the preparation? Then later, the skills. Just try to understand from the child or the counseling that what are the skill sets that child possesses? What are the skill sets the child has developed so far? Planning. Try to understand the planning of the child. So with all these things, you are interested in this thing, you want to achieve this goal, you are expecting this salary level, you are at this education level, and you are prepared so much, and you are having this many skills in you. Now, let me understand what are your plans, my dear child, to get to that destination. What is the roadmap that you have drawn? What is your blueprint in the mind to get to that destination? Understand all these things. This would take you another couple of meetings with the child. Once you grab all these informations, you as a counselor need to work on these factors or these informations or these data that a counselor has collected. Work on that, then start explaining these 6 stages to the particular counseling, that how they can get into this, what are all that they need to focus, all these things. So the first and foremost thing is the planning. So once you understand by asking these questions, what are your interests, what do you want to be, what are your interests, how do you prepare for the career? The previous 6 steps, you got the information, you got those data, work on those, and brief the child in the next meeting that, my dear, look, this is what you told me that, and this is your interest. This is your area of interest, or this is where you are interested in. But with this interest, what are the advantages here and what are the disadvantages here? With this, what do you want to be? Or what is your set goal? You want to do this? Okay, go there. What are your skill sets? You have revealed me that these are your skill sets, but my dear, along with these skill sets, you need to acquire or you need to inculcate, you need to learn so and so skill sets further. Then, once you develop all these things, what are all the different types of career that you have got, the options that can fit into your set of skills and your area of interest. And to go there, this was your plan, according to your plan or according to your happen. This is where you would reach. And if you need to really reach to the destination, what you are planned for, that is in step number 2, that is the goal. What all the preparations you need to do. That should be clearly told to the child and make the child to understand all these 6 factors, how they work. in developing their career. Then the area of interest. These are few questions you would ask the child. What are your interests? What do you like to do? Right? Make a list of the activities or 10 activities, 5 activities. Just put as 10 activities, right? So that you'll understand. Make a list of 10 activities you have enjoyed doing in the past 4 years or 5 years, whatever it is. The counselor can do this after understanding the 6-step analysis or the assessment that is being carried out. Then, what the challenges did the activities offer? Means, what are the challenges that these activities, when you are prepared, what are the challenges that you would be coming or that you would be facing? What are the further skills that you need to develop in yourself to continue in those activities which you have planned for or which you have listed? So, if you can, if as a career counselor, if you can create this 6-step process in the initial stage to understand or the mindset of the counseling by asking these many questions, working on those questions, giving the guidance, giving the options to the child, and also explaining what are the challenges that could come and how to overcome those challenges. That is where planning, that is step number 6, comes into play. Once in counseling and do this assessment, then it is easy for a counselor to guide the child to any career path the child wants to go. Remember, this assessment or this analysis is what we normally say as SWOT. That is strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. So, need to carry out this SWOT analysis on the counselee without making the child to get diverted from whatever his or her idea or area of interest or plan or the goal is set in the mind. Without intervention. Let the child speak freely to speak. Just in the first couple of meetings or in the first few meetings or in the first few sittings, just allow the child to speak. Speak out of his heart or her heart. Speak out the heart. Understand? Collect the information, collect the data, read it out, understand, work out on those effective or the adverse effects that could be there in that particular thing. And if the child is having a strong interest in a particular area, with rest of the information, what is being drawn from the child is taking you after you analyze those things, guiding you to some other direction, see from where you can take a U-turn, make the child to understand what is plan A, plan B, or plan C. How this plan A, plan B, plan C would help the child to develop his or her career so that they will never get disgusted or get disappointed in their career. Because It is their plan. If a football player has achieving 5 goals in a game, the first target, that is plan A. I need to score 5 goals. Yes, 5 goals. Okay. What should be the plan B? If the opponent is strong, if I am not able to score 5 goals, what should be the next number I should think at? Say 3, what to score 3 goals. In case if you find the opponent to be too strong, but however, my goal is to win this game. In that case, what should be my contribution? What should be my set goal if I have to score goals? What should be the minimum number of goals I should score to help my team to win? To at least 2 goals from my side. That is plan C. That's how even the career should also be planned. I am a computer science engineer. I am a CSE graduate. I want to become a top software engineer. I want to become a designer. I want to become a programmer. Fine. You have got these 3 options. You want to become work only on just as a software testing tools. Fine. If that is your interest. If you can't become that, what is the next option for you? You couldn't become a software tester. Fine, no worries. Why don't you become a programmer? Once you do that programming, you improve your skills, upgrade yourself, upskill yourself. If not tomorrow, a weeks, couple of months, you will become the testing engineer, software testing engineer. Even that is also not achieved in the beginning. Don't worry. At least you become a software designer. Start designing different softwares, different applications. Can you design those? Improve your skills. Fill in your gaps. What are the gaps that would arise? Do the SWOT for you and carry it forward. These are the areas where a counselor should guide and should handhold the counseling to get success in his or her career. So what are the career options that are there in today's world? What are the career to lead a career? If we need to get into a particular career, what are those things that is required? That is the skills. Identify the skill sets that one is having. What are your skills? Then make a list of your school activities where you are done the activities for improving these skills or where you have exposed your skills in these activities. And you should evaluate the school. Volunteer yourself, work or leisure experiences. While you evaluate the school, after that, what is your volunteer experience, work experience, or your leisure experience? Even leisure experience counts because if his or her career, if the leisure period is more, the development period will also be more because they are directly proportional. If your leisure period is less, your work period is more, then developing your career also becomes, speed also becomes much more easy. Then the career plus skills. What is that career you have chosen? After choosing your career, what are the skill sets that you possess in you? Once you career,
Yes, Ravi sir.
yeah,
Any questions from anyone?
okay. Then find out what characteristics you look for when selecting a school or college. Look for the characteristics, not for the infrastructures or not for the luxuries. Look for what characteristics needs to be developed in the child. Are these characteristics can then after doing that, as I told earlier, plan A, plan B, plan C, at least choose minimum 3 colleges or minimum 3 universities. Because that also you should have a priority. That is priority 1, priority 2, priority 3. If I doesn't get admission in A, even if I couldn't get through there also, let me get in C college. Minimum 3 colleges. And explore them. What are the facilities that are available? Are these facilities good enough for my ward to continue the education there? Or these colleges would be able to help the area of interest of my ward? Looking all those things, it is very easy. You get into the website of any college and read who we are or about us. The tabs may be having different names. Either it can be who we are or about us, something like that. Read that particular thing, understand the characteristics of that college. Choose that relevant college for the career of the child, where the child is interested. Then the career options. What are the different options that are available? For that, how to set a job or how to get a job. After 12th pass, student can have. After 12th pass, to improve one's career, one can always think of medical career paths. After 12th, if you are a science student, of course, in India, once this NEP 2020 is completely implemented, you need not be a science student, just you need to have chemistry and biology in your subject typical career. So the basic graduation is a 5 years MBBS. That 5 years MBBS had to be completed. Post that, practice as a MP, that is medical practitioner, for a couple of years. In today's trend, most of the children I have seen, most of the students, post-graduation from the graduation level. 2023, they pass out of their graduation, whether it is MBBS or BTech or whatsoever, or BCom or BA, BSc, whatsoever it is. Immediately 2024, I want to jump to my post-graduation. I will do my MA, I will do my MCom, I will do my MTech, I will do my MD, whatever it is. People think that I will lose the... In fact, on practicability, it is not the fact. The fact is that once a person gets into a job, loses the track by himself or herself, not focusing on the goal what they are set earlier, that I want to get into the post-graduation in my stream of education, that they will keep it aside and start into different paths. After getting, always advisable to put in a couple of years of experience so that the child would understand whatever was learned or whatever was taught in the graduation level, and gain a hands-on experience how these learnings would help the child to develop his or her career, how these need to be implemented in. After understanding that, after gaining that experience, if we get into the post-graduation, that post-graduation, completing the post-graduation becomes quite easy. But if you are diverse, your direction is missed, then God only can help. Then the 2 degrees of post-graduation, then practice as an individual doctor, as a medical practitioner, and then search out for the job. Then in the engineering stream, if you get into BTech, 4 years, 4 years of BTech and 2 years of, again, post-graduation, that is MTech. Then find out the eligibility criteria and the duration of the course. After finding out those things, then whether it is BE or BTech, 12th pass with minimum 45% in PCM 4 year. That is physics, chemistry, and mathematics for any engineering. It is now the percentage has increased. Now it is minimum 50%. If you have scored minimum 50% in physics, chemistry, you can choose into engineering line. Before that, of course, there are many entrance tests. One need to take up, one need to crack those entrance tests, get into that level. Even with that, if you are good enough to pay and get a seat, next option. Then once you do MTech for 2 years, then look out for jobs. Where all the jobs are available? MNCs, KPOs, BPOs, automobile sector, IT sector, building sector, any or architectural sector, all these sectors are there in the engineering line. Then, as a you, the minimum salary that could be expected by a student as a fresher should be minimum 25,000 per month, so that this is what the salary they get. But this 25,000 per month should not carry their mind away, and they should not get down to the head weight level. Or no, I am a B.Tech in so and so university. I want only this much of salary. To give you one information here, the salary is structured by any organization in conjunction with whatever the minimum basic line of minimum wages string is given by the labor office. Any organization will have to register in the labor office of that particular nation, and there would be a table of range, or there would be a range of salary that would be prescribed for each level of designation. One should expect the salary. Then the other option after the 12th, other than the professional courses, of course, in India, in the new educational policy that is 2020, NEP 2020, even though law and agricultural graduation have been converted as a professional courses, earlier which was not there. So the year of graduation has increased from 3 years to 4 years for both the streams, or especially I think for agriculture it is 5 years now. So those two have been included into professional level, just like medical or normal graduation. There is BCom, BA, BSc or BBA. Law, as of now it is there, but once NEP 2020 is implemented in India, it will be taken away from here and it will be shifted to the professional courses. Then the other management, print and journalism, mass communication, filmmaking, travel and tourism, medical, that is paramedical, miscellaneous, that is miscellaneous is designing, army, navy, air force, etc. So with all these things, if we see medical, B.Tech, then what all the other things that one can get graduated? BAMS, that is Ayurvedic medicine. One can go for pharmacy, that is paramedical, B Pharma, do nursing. You can do BSc honors in a particular category or in a particular stream, chemical or pharma industry, ONGC, anything. One can get graduated as a BSc anthropologist, that is biological and social cultural evaluation of human rights, which is also having a great demand in today's trend to become an anthropologist. You can become a curator, urban planner, tour guide, research scholar, so on and so forth. You can do BOT, that is Bachelor of Science in Occupational Therapy, work with patients of ortho or even neurological or psychological or psychiatric patients. You can do another paramedical course, become a physiotherapist, or do BSc physiotherapist. Even other than that, you can also get into para-professional courses, like you can do business science, BSc architecture, or you can do what do you call it as computer applications, BCA, so on and so forth. Then you can get graduated in literature, that is BA in any languages, BSc in biochemistry, BSc in botany or zoology or chemistry or mathematics or physics. You can take one major and further do the post-graduation in that, become a professor, assistant professor, faculty, so on and so forth in that line, in the education line, become a teacher. Then BSc microbiology. Again, this BSc agricultural science and technology, this would be upgraded to professional course in a couple of years once this NEP 2020 is implemented in India. Then fashion having a huge demand these days, textile designing, fashion technology and textile technology. And what are the other government jobs that would be available after passing 12th? If you see, the first and foremost thing is defense service. In defense service, after 12th pass, there are many different ways where one can develop their career. Defense service in the technical entry scheme. If you are a science 12th pass student, you can get into the technical entry scheme, that is called as TES, and do your graduation from defense in engineering or in medical or in paramedical. You can get in there, or you can get into general service in the defense services. Then there are opportunities for paramedics. Else, you can get a job after if you are a graduate defense, small graduate, you can apply for UPSCs or SPSCs, that is State Public Service Commission examinations. Take those examinations, become a civil officer at the national level or at your state level. Then there is another huge sector in today's trend, that is BFSI sector, that is banking, financial service. Then India Post, FDCs, that is first division clerks or the lower division clerks, secretaries, you can become secretaries if you do BA secretarial practice or diploma in secretarial practice, BSc in secretarial practice, if you go to get into that level, you can become the secretaries, personal assistant, then aeronautical and aerospace services, submarine services, all these opportunities are available for a child to develop his or her career. So, there is a suggestion for me, from my end. To continue in a good or a successful or an effective career. This applies to both the parents and the child, teacher and the students, counselor and the counseling. Avoid these 3 C's. That is, don't compare the child with anyone else. Oh, you see that opposite side, opposite houses or neighbors or your friend, my friend's son or daughter, he or she has taken engineering and she is in top level. Who knows? Your son might not be, or your daughter may not be interested in that. Same success your child will not get. So never ever compare. Never ever counter the child or the countering. Avoid countering. Oh, you want to do this? I am telling you do this. Mama, I am very much fond of eating mangoes. Who told you to eat mango? Mango is too much heat to body. Don't eat that. You eat only banana. No, don't counter. Criticizing. Please, for God's sake, never criticize your ward. Never criticize your child. Never criticize your counseling. Once you start criticizing the child, the interest level drops down. That is where the mind gets diverted. Rather than doing this, it is always better if we focus on these 3 C's. So, for comparing, instead of comparing a child, correct the child. Adopt the method of correcting. That means when you start comparing, you will not find the gap of the child, where the child is going wrong or where the child is weak. But if you understand your child, if you understand your ward, if you understand your counseling, you can find the gap. You can understand that gap. You can understand where the child is weak. You can understand that weakness of the child so that you can correct that child to get into the right level. Instead of comparing, please do start correcting. Then, instead of countering, start counseling. What is that counseling? Telling both the benefits and the demerits, the effects and the adverses that would happen. Counsel the child. If you do this, only this much would happen. Instead, if you can do this, these are all what can be benefit you will be getting. Start counseling the child. Avoid criticizing, but be creative. Make the child to think creatively. To make the child to think creatively, we need to be creative. So let us become creative and inculcate that mindset in the child to become more creative. So with this, I would end today's session. If there are any queries and any clarifications required, please do open up. I am here to answer all the queries and clarify any are there, or the constructive feedback from all of you. Not the appreciative one. I need the constructive feedback, and at the end, as every day goes, my heartfelt thanks to all the participants over here, those who are so patiently and keenly listening to me and helping me out without the interruption, accepting for the technical glitch for a fraction of a minute that happened. I thank you all from the depth of my heart. And I also, at the end of the session, I would love to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our favorite founder, Dr. Piyush Pandit sir, for giving me this opportunity to be a trainer for this particular session of Global Career Counseling. To all the IAUNs, and special thanks and special gratitude to our load-bearing wall or the center pillar, Dr. Snigdha Kadam. And also to our special person in all the IIU activities, our loving Vice Chancellor, Charles sir. Last but not the least, to all the participants, I request all of you to keep in touch with IIU and get into your clarifications. We are there at any time, and just a reach of calling. We are there to help you, guide you, take guidance from you, and take help from you as well. It is not one way, it is two way. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Any queries can be addressed right now. I'll just stop this sharing. We can all be on the camera.
Hello, sir. Very good
Yes,
evening.
ma'am.
Sir, I have a couple of doubts. Am I audible first?
You are very much
Yeah.
clearly audible,
Thank you.
crystal clear.
Thank you, sir. So, sir, as you said, the personal interaction with the mentor and the child has to be done solely with the mentor and the child. No parents are allowed, right? So the parents can, the child can open up and all those things. As a parent, if I am counseling and I'm doing a career counselor things and the courses, will the child be able to express the things to me as a parent?
You
Or
as a parent, you try
yeah.
to counsel your child, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So do you think as an experience of yours, the child will be able to open up with me, or do I need to have another mentor, not me
You
as a
need
mentor?
to have another counselor for the first 2 sittings, ma'am.
All right.
Because any child would not open up with the parents.
Absolutely.
That is the reason I told the first sitting with the child should be totally a personal one. Without the parents, without the teachers. Even if you are a teacher and you are a counselor, the child will not open up. So if the child doesn't open up, then we will not be able to understand what is the actual area of interest, what the child wants in his or her mind, only then we will be able to draw plan B and plan C. Because plan A is already child has made it. As a parent, we always try to force the child, because even I am a parent, we always see only one side of the child. We doesn't see the other side of the child. But if you are not a parent, you are an external person, we try to understand the other side of the should be done by the external counselor, get the result from the external counselor, and then from there onwards, you can take it forward. Then you can have, because the counseling happens this way, first with the counseling, that is the students or the child, then separately with the teachers, then separately with the parents. The first 3 sittings would go this way in a triangle, so that the counselor would understand what is that child's interest, what does the child wants to do, and what is the understanding about the child by the teacher and by the parents. Then when you get into that triangle, then you will be understanding the area of the triangle. Once you understand the area of the triangle, then you can draw the result and guide the child. So first sitting, that is sitting 1, sitting 2, sitting 3, that is sitting with the child, sitting with the parent, and sitting with the teacher, should happen from the external counselor only, because that would give you an effective result. Once as a parent or as a teacher, you get that particular result and you can discuss on the results with the external counselor, and from there you can take it forward. That would help you in not only building the child's career, also helping the child to build his or her career. Hope this answers your...
Absolutely, sir. Thank you so much. Now, another question that you said, there are 6 steps of analysis.
Yeah.
Now, after analyzing the student with a lot of questions, you said that you will get to know the advantage and disadvantage of the chosen plan. So how would, as a counselor, I will get the advantage, and from where do I need to research
That's
on?
what I said. That is what I said in the beginning itself. You need to work on it. You need to work out. Right? Say the first step was what? Of the 6 steps?
Interest.
Interest. So first day you don't question. Just try to grab the data from the child. What is your area of interest? Say, Sudhi is my counselor. I am the counselor. Now I am trying to understand what is the area of interest Sudhi is interested in, where Sudhi is inclined in. Just I want to know. Sudhi says, sir, I want to become a software engineer. So whatever may be the thing, whether I do my graduation or not, whether I do my engineering, I can go to BSc also. So for that I should do only engineering if I want to become a software engineer. So I want to become a software engineer. Okay, Sudhi, you want to become a software engineer. That is the area of interest. I just noted it down. I am not questioning anything else from there. What is the second step? Goal. Right?
Right, goal.
Okay.
Salary.
Right, my dear child. Sudhi, now you said that you want to become a software engineer. Fine, agreed. I love that profession. Now can you just help me out by saying, what is your goal in your mind after you become a software engineer? A software engineer has certain designations and levels, my dear. To what level you want to reach as a software engineer? Just understand the goal from the child. All the 6 steps, just what we need to do is we collect the data from the child. Then as a counselor, we need to work on that. So the child, Sudhi, wants to become a software engineer. But I also, so now after understanding the background of the child, I will think, okay, Sudhi wants to become a software engineer, but the background says that she cannot afford financially for the engineering course. But I should not discourage my counselee Sudhi from becoming a software engineer. So for that, what are the alternative paths that I can find in a budgeted way? My counselee can become a software engineer. So what are the options? Okay. In the same way, you have to work out the alternative paths. What are the paths that are available easily for my counselee to become a software engineer? As a counselor, I should work it out. After I work it out, then in the next sitting, I have to ask the relevant questions as I had shown in the different slides, and then explain each thing to the child, make the child to understand, you see, this is what. Ultimately, you will be a software engineer, and ultimately you will reach your set goal. Only the process is that you might not reach the goal at the time what you are expecting to, but still, after you get a job, you can still have a lot of chances to upgrade yourself by doing some external technical courses. Because it is your money, you are earning money. Now you are ready to do the expenditures for those courses. That's how we need to work as a counselor. We need to work out it. We need to make a table of content. We need to make a table of study that we need to go through. Right? So that is our job as a counselor, that we need to work and do that. Hope this answers your second question also.
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Yes.
Is there time for another question?
Yes, ma'am. Please.
When you were talking about exploring the college or the characteristics the student has to look for when selecting their school, I would like to know some examples of the characteristics they have to look for in a school.
Some of the characteristics one needs to look for when you are exploring the different universities or the different colleges. I said minimum 3, that is plan A, plan B, plan C. So different characteristics, that's what in the very second or third slide I said, where we get diversified in the sorry, aimless approach. AIM. Right? Most as parents and get into the infrastructure sides. The characteristics that we need to look into is the first and foremost characteristic that we need to explore about that particular educational institution, whether it's a college or a university, is that what is the rate of success? Then what are the level of the faculties that are available? The number of labs for practices. Then the minimum basic infrastructures available. The distance for commuting from the place. These are the 5 major characteristics we need to work on for the child, because if the distance is more, the child would be spending more time in commuting only, going to the college or coming back, and there would be very less time left with the child to practice his or her studies. If there right? Am I audible?
Is that in there? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fine. I'll just switch off my camera because the power has gone here. No power. If there is no proper facilities of laboratories, what the child would practice? In the same way, if the faculties available in the college, how good they are. These 5 characteristics, if we look into and categorize the college and prioritize them, first option, second option, and third option. Once we do this, then we advise the child to go for the specific college or the university to take admissions and get graduated. Further, we can counsel the child for the betterment of the career. Hope this answers your query.
Yes, thank you very much. I enjoyed very much.
It's my pleasure. It's always my pleasure. Yes. Any other questions?
Sir, one more last question.
Yes, ma'am, please. Let it not be last. Just one more question. Because
Alright.
as a trainer, we always say, don't tell any specific numbers. Because
Alright.
the habit of trainer, it always, when we compare things, the numbers may increase or decrease. So never say the specific numbers. Right?
Absolutely.
Yes, ma'am.
So, sir, hello.
Hello, please carry on.
Yeah, sir. So, in my school, the student approached the career counselor saying that this is a grade, and we got 5 in computer science and we got 4 in mathematics. Now, let us know the university where I can apply for. So, if I wanted to have a career counselor in my school, how will I inform the student from where I will get the information of these kind? Okay, students are getting computer science 5 HL student, like I'm in IB school, so they have a HL and SL. And then some comes with the mathematics, I am doing this, and this is why I wanted to go further. From where do I get those kind of list of the colleges? How?
Okay. When you just Google it out, ma'am, there is a huge sector, but you have to specifically mention that when you Google also, like in the search engine, most of us, what we do is we just post the first 2 or 3 words, and because whenever we get into any search engines, it automatically pops up the list. We lose the focus there of what actually we needed to type in the search box. We just look at the drop that are coming. We just click on something else and we are overridden by that. Please do key in the exact search word that we want to search for. There you will get the right information for each and everything that you want to have. Whether you want to have mathematics 4 or environmental science 3 or social science 2, 6, whatever the thing it is there. You have to search for a specific word in that. Because that, as a counselor, that is what I said the first couple of sittings. Understanding the child's interest. Understanding the child's interest and the child's goal. What exactly the goal is there in the child's mind. The first 2 steps. The interest and the goal of the child is very critical. So we need to understand those 2 measures first. If we understand those 2 measures, rest of the 4 measures, they are just like the gear wheels. If you have to learn a vehicle, you should know how to put the gear for the first gear first, because first gear is the one which gives the inertia to the engine to move. Then the second gear is called as it gives the inertia for the engine to continue that motion. Then third, fourth, and fifth, they are just speed gears. Just they increases the speed. They are just the accelerators. But the important gears are first and second. right? If you put your vehicle into the second gear, if you push it, get started and moves easily. But you cannot start a vehicle or run a vehicle straight away into the third gear or the fourth gear, right? So this life, we need to move in such a way, key, how we take it forward. That's where if you understand the first two steps, there is the interest and the goal of the child, and then we work on that, then it will be easy for us to search out for the keyword in the search engine and we take it forward.
All right, sir.
Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Yes, ma'am, or anyone else, please feel free. Whether it is today's session or yesterday's session or day before yesterday's session, no worries.
Sir, also, how do we meet the universities? Like, if I wanted to call the university at my school, so how do we approach them? Is there a formal letter needs to be written, or do we direct contact them?
Right? Sorry, again,
So, sir, how do we reach the different universities for our school, for the school to participate into, or call the university at our campus? So, do we directly email them or contact them or give a call or?
but that every schools and educational institutions, a school or a college or a university, right? They have their point of contact, right? You can shoot an email, you can make a call, right? The way of reaching out to them is totally this thing personal. And before that, we need to understand whether is there any entrance test of sort of thing or something like that in that particular institution, right? They might different universities, different colleges, they would have set certain benchmark to achieve that, to filter the students. So to understand that benchmark, what needs to be prepared, right? So what would be the test they would be carrying out, whether there can be any entrance test or there can be any assessment you would be doing. When we get into that particular education institution's website, we will get all the details. Instead of directly approaching them also, we can get all these administrative details from the website also. So these things we need to work out. We cannot ask the counselee to do it. We need to work out because we need to get that knowledge and then we give that to the counseling and we give them the easy path to move ahead from that. Only then they will get confidence in us and that good relationship is built between the counselee and the counselor. Any other questions? Don't keep yourself, what do you call this, muted for asking the doubts. Right? A small doubt is like an atom bomb. A big life doubt is like a bullet from a pistol. Right? The bullet can harm, can also kill, but at times it may just hurt the person. But the small minute particle, that is the atom bomb, will kill or destroy the whole area. So the smallest of the smallest doubt in a mind is the most dangerous doubt. Because the bigger doubts anybody can clear it, anybody can clarify it. But smallest of the smallest doubts should be clarified then and there so that you will not carry it ahead along with you and you will get into something else. Ma'am, you are muted.
Sorry, sir. Sir, is it important for a career counselor to know the visa process, or you just tell the student go and have an agent word with the
Either
agent?
way, it is good. But
But it's important.
from my end, to be a good counselor, it is, I don't say it is necessary or mandatory, but it is always better if we know the visa process so that we can make the child to understand what are the visa process to go overseas, understand, and all these things. So that these little extra efforts would always bring in the good relationship between the counselee and the counselor. It's not mandatory though, but it is just an extra added advantage for the counselor.
Okay. Sir.
Anything else?
I think Dr. Ravi Kumar, I need to appreciate you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to
Somebody's. Can I request each one of you to come on the camera so that we can have a group snap of the batch?
just as I was saying, I need to appreciate you very well. You have done a good job.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
That is why we
Charles,
have
sir.
been inviting you for work. Yes, you have done a very nice work.
Yeah.
God is going to bless you and
May I
empower
request
you with
everyone
wisdom.
please come on the camera. Just for
That's a good one. We appreciate you. I know that the same power given to you to give all the substance you have given, God will come to restore it for you and empower you more with wisdom. It takes a very great opportunity to do what you are doing. You need the grace of God. God has imparted into you that wisdom, and you have been able to share it to people. And I pray also that all the counselee that we are given the opportunities to do this program, they will also go out there to impart to other people. But that is where we will be happy. Everybody will be happy. It's good to be happy. As we're happy now, we will go out there to empower other people so that other people will be happy. We've been able to do this training, 3 days training, and we'll be able to get a lot of blessing from it. We pray that the same blessing will be permanent in us, and we also will go to impart to people. I appreciate IIU. IIU have been a very good university, imparting knowledge to people so that at least everybody will be educated. This is our vision for 2030. That is what we are working towards, making sure that people have good education, that we global peace all over. And I thank God for this program. And I pray that God will come to impart into IIU good people who will go for IIU so that we'll be able to fulfill their dreams. And we pray that God will come to energize us to do more. We are just starting. We keep on learning on a daily basis so that we'll be able to actualize that dream of SDG 2030, which we are working towards. Everybody must be educated. Everybody must have that knowledge. And knowledge is power. Knowledge is key. That is why Piyush have been, our sir Piyush have been working towards that, making sure that there will be fulfillment of that dream. And that dream must come to perfection. You have started it. I have started it. Every one of us have started it. And God will to impart into us. Thank God for our able chief operation officer, the global academic director, who has been so nice. I pray that God will come to fulfill our dreams and will come to a good substance and make sure that there will be global peace all over the world and also education. People will be educated before that 2030. Thank you very much for your efforts. Thank you very much for all the participants. We pray that God will come to give us all the graces we need to do more of the work, to educate people and to bring peace globally all over the world. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you. Yes, Snigdha ma'am.
Yes, it was indeed a great session, sir. Very well elaborated. And I think each one of us could understand what are the needs and importance of to be a great career counselor. Right? So thank you so much, Ravi sir, for your wonderful inputs. I
It's
would
my
like
pleasure,
to
ma'am.
thank, yes, I would like to thank our trainers for the other 2 days, Dr. Binu Thomas and Dr. Shri Vidya Sukumar. And I think all the 3 days of this comprehensive session, at least we could got a gist of what needs to be a good career counselor, what needs to be put in, how we can help our students, our family, our own children, right? So once again, thanks a lot to all the trainees for being so supportive and attending each day. And herein, on behalf of the International Internship University, I take the pleasure to announce that you all are the certified career counselor by the International Internship University. Congratulations from the team IIU. Your certificates will be posted soon. Thanks a lot to our Vice Chancellor, Professor Dr. Charles, for being here and always rendering his support. Thank you all. Stay tuned, stay connected. We'll be coming up with many more such kind of training sessions. And my sincere apologies for not starting my video because I'm at a place this moment wherein we don't have the electricity. So I'm just struggling with all the things. Thank you once again. Good night, good day, take care, be safe.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Good night,
Thanks.
everyone.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much.
Bye.
Yeah. God bless you all. Thank you.
Stay blessed.
Yeah. Amen.